Students, a very good morning all of you. So today I'm going to take a different type of lecture which is on the tracts of spinal cord. Okay, a quick lecture unlike any other previous ones which we go into detail of everything. This is a kind of a review lecture which will help you quickly finish the lecture today and remember things for tomorrow's exam. Okay, so focus, concentrate, and again I'm putting these videos on YouTube so that you can take screenshots also. Okay, instead of the app. On the app you can't take the screenshots. So it will help you to quickly remember. So if you just see the section of spinal cord, now basically the tracts goes through from spinal cord to brain or from brain to spinal cord. That is, ascending tracts go from spinal cord to brain and descending from the brain to spinal cord. Okay, we'll come to that. Now, so you have to understand the basics on spinal cord, the basics on brain. So if you just see spinal cord, you have got a dorsal part and a ventral part. Okay, the dorsal part is nothing but the posterior part and the ventral one, which is the anterior part. So now the next thing you have to know is there is a area of gray matter which is H-shaped, which is the horn of the spinal cord, and there is on the side you have got the white matter on the sides, and this region there is white matter, okay, and which is known as the columns or funiculus. Okay, so this is through which the tracts go. The horn, which is the red one, but where you have the cell bodies, and on the white matter you have got the fibers, okay, through which the fibers goes. Now, not very important, but just understand for this purpose here that, as I've told you, the H-shaped is horn. So there is on the dorsal side you have got a dorsal horn. So I'll use the same color. There is a dorsal horn, okay, and there is a ventral horn, okay, of the spinal cord. When you come on to the funiculus, so this is the gray matter, dorsal and ventral. Now if you come on to the white matter, similarly, as I've told you, there is a white matter on the sides up and down, or I would say anterior and posterior. Okay, so same thing, but the name just changes. You have got a dorsal funiculus like the dorsal horn, and there is a ventral funiculus and a lateral funiculus on the sides. Okay, here there is a lateral funiculus. So now the tracts simply uses the same name. You have heard of dorsal spinothalamic tract. So this tract goes in this region. Okay, and you have heard of ventral spinothalamic. This region it goes through upwards. Lateral spinothalamic through this region. So it's very simple. Now let us come on to the next part, which is the basics on brain. Okay, a quick review, not a detailed understanding. If you just see the parts of the brain quickly, you have got three parts, which is forebrain, okay, then the midbrain and the hindbrain, the below part. Okay, now forebrain is known as prosencephalon. Okay, forebrain is known as prosencephalon. So I'll tell you how to remember it. Midbrain is mesencephalon. So it's easy, midbrain MM, and hindbrain is rhombencephalon. So how to remember this is P comes first and then comes R. So which is the forebrain? PQR, isn't it, in the alphabetical order? So prosencephalon and rhombencephalon, that's how you can remember it. Now going further, the forebrain has got a telescope, okay, and inside the telescope or below the telescope there is a Princess Diana sitting there. That's how you can remember is telescope and Diana. Quick lecture, so you have to remember this way. There is a telescope and there is Diana, princess, sitting there. This telescope is viewing the Diana. Okay, now next is so telescope is basically the cerebrum. Okay, and diencephalon. Okay, diencephalon is known as thalamencephalon. The part of thalamus or thalamencephalon is thalamus, hypothalamus, metathalamus, epithalamus, subthalamus. Okay, so how to remember this? Thalamus, hypothalamus, you know, hypothalamo, pituitary axis and all, you've heard of it. Now thalamus is where we are going to concentrate today. Very, very, very important for today. Then you have got a mess which you have not heard of. Okay, messy, isn't it? Mess, you have thalamus, hypothalamus, you know, but there is going to be a mess now. That is meta, epi and sub. Not very important for today. today you're focusing on thalamus. Okay, today we're going to focus on thalamus. So thalamus is where now spinothalamic tract, isn't it? Spinothalamic. So this is where it ends, thalamus. Okay, starting from spinal cord to thalamus, and finally into the cerebrum it goes. Okay, so this is where the spinothalamic tract. So that is important, and note that it is a part of forebrain. Okay, thalamus, what we're talking about, is a part of the forebrain, which also has cerebrum. Now coming on to the midbrain, which is mesencephalon, we are going to focus on tectums. So okay, let me just show you this part. That is we studied Diana inside and the telescope outside. So this is the telescope outside, and this is the Diana sitting inside, which we said there is the thalamus. Okay, this is thalamus. Now let us go on to the midbrain. Midbrain is very important for us again. So second part of the brain which you are going to study, where we are going to have tectum, tegmentum, different parts, substantia nigra and crus cerebri. Now for us, for the ascending tracts, we're going to study first the ascending tracts. Tectum is the key. Okay, spinotectal pathway. Descending tract, again tectum will come down. Okay, so tectum is very important there, spinotectal. Okay, spinotectal. When you come on to the descending tract, crus cerebri is important. We'll come to that again. Okay, so okay, let me just show you the image. I think the image is there. Yeah. Okay, so this is it. Okay, this is the tectum, where you have the superior colliculus and inferior colliculus. We'll come to that. Then there is tegmentum, not very significant for us. Okay, this is a cut section of the brain. Okay, this is a cut section of the brain. Then crus cerebri. So what is important for us today is tectum, the second part. So where are we focusing on? The midbrain. We started with thalamus and now we came on to the midbrain, where we are going to see tectum. And finally the hindbrain, very important for us. The most important thing which you have to understand today is the hindbrain or rhombencephalon. The hindbrain has got two parts, meta and myelin. So this is meson, midbrain. Okay, this is meta and myelin. Just try to remember it, meta and myelin. Okay, and metencephalon has got pons and cerebellum, and myelencephalon has got medulla oblongata. Very simple here, no confusion. Okay, no need of any confusion. We have the spinal cord here, segment down, then just going up you have got the myelencephalon here. Okay, then you have got the metencephalon in the orange. Okay, so basically it all starts on the down part, it's medulla. So okay, here this is a better image. This is the medulla. Okay, so the tract will start from the spinal cord, go up through the medulla, then it goes through the pons, then it reaches the midbrain. It can also go on to the sides into the cerebellum. That's the thing you have to remember. So see, the confusion comes about medulla and midbrain. Okay, and what is there in this region, the Diana, thalamus. So Diana is there thalamus is there in the Diana. Don't confuse that. Okay, and midbrain, where you said that is a tectum. Okay, that is important for us today. And the other two things, that is, it passes through the medulla and pons. So there are nucleus, there are certain things happening in medulla, certain things happening in pons, and then finally reaching the midbrain. So remember this, the medulla oblongata, pons, midbrain, thalamus, cerebrum. Okay, and at times it just goes to the sides into the cerebellum. So if you just know this basics and about spinal cord, we will go into the next part. So again, we said thalamus, isn't it? We studied that we are going to see this is a thalamus in the Diana. Okay, and in thalamus, you just need to know one thing. There is a nucleus called VPL nucleus in thalamus. I'm not going to do any details of other nucleus. VPL nucleus of thalamus, okay, where the most of the sensations from other parts of the body is carried. So what is VPL? It's ventroposterolateral, VPL. And there is also VPM nucleus, which is important for us dentists. Why? Because VPM nucleus will receive the head and neck sensations, which is not important for us today. For us, it's a VPL nucleus in the thalamus, which is the third order neuron. Okay, so thalamus is divided into anterior, medial, lateral, and all those. And lateral has got a dorsal of nucleus, ventral group of nucleus, and finally you end up in a VPL nucleus. So this is the section of thalamus where you have got these two. Okay, this is the VPL nucleus. Okay, this one, and this is the VPM nucleus. Okay, just know we'll come to that. So thalamus, again I'm repeating it, thalamus is a part of Diana. Okay, diencephalon. Thalamus is a part of Diana, diencephalon. So then you will see on the side of thalamus another group of or fibers just going through this. Okay, this is the, you call it as internal capsule. Just a group of fibers going up on this side. If you just see, this is a thalamus. Okay, set of nucleus we just saw. You have on the side you have got something known as internal capsule. So through this you will see the fibers going, and now it all starts here, isn't it, in the spinal cord. So how does it all start? That is what you have to understand. See, one thing you know, that there is we already said there is going to be a gray matter, there is outside the white matter, and from this side there is a dorsal root which is a sensory. Always remember, dorsal root is sensory. We have studied this. Ventral root is motor. Okay, ventral root is motor, and this ganglion is important for us today. The dorsal root ganglion, the first order neuron for all the ascending tracts we were to study. The first order is dorsal root. The third order we just studied VPL. So what is remaining is the second order. We'll be soon seeing that. Okay. So remember, the first order neuron is in this dorsal root ganglion. Okay.